What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Technically Broken. I'm Botar, and we're here with my host, Mario.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mario. I'm Whole Baked Cookie on YouTube and TikTok. Just other hosts, and we got a special guest today. But first, Caleb.
Hey guys, I'm Caleb. Everything you see me on, Caleb the Hunted, or Caleb _ the Hunted _. Find me on fucking anything.
Right on. Yeah, this is us. That's the three usually, but we got a special guest here. We got our buddy Chewy in. So Chewy, what's up, man? Hey, just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself, and if you do want to bring up any socials, go ahead, just drop those real quick right now, and
Okay. Well, I'm Chad, or they call me Chewy. Kind of a weird nickname I've had for years. I was recently a forklift technician and worked on Heister equipment, which, is kind of bottom of the barrel, but it still does the job.
It's a forklift. It moves stuff, right?
It does stuff. That's all they needed. But, I don't really have very many socials other than like Snapchat, which is John Deere 1500.
I'll have those linked, guys. There'll be links down below. And also leave comments and questions for Chewy and any of us. So, man, thank you for coming on. So you were a forklift. But before we got to talk about any of, what you just got to, thank you, anybody who has been watching and tuning in. Thank you guys for checked out episode 2. We got into some funny Worth It and Junket segments. We talked a little bit about our past and the things we've done as a professional to the amateur guys. But let's face it, we're all kind of semi-seasoned amateurs at this point. And Chewy, I would consider you pretty much a professional at this point. You've kind of done it for a while. And yeah, thanks for coming on, man. So the first thing is, how did you... do you think you just started fixing stuff when you were little? Do you think you just got into this world? Or you're like, I'm just going to get a job.
These bills keep coming in. What do I do with them?
I'm adulting and I don't know what
money. No, I grew up farming actually here. And my entire life, obviously I had my grandpa and my grandparents teaching me how to work on stuff, and I learned that I liked wrenching on stuff, and it turned into kind of a passion of mine. And as I've gotten older, I've tried different jobs and different opportunities and things arose, and I kind of built on that, built a tool collection, and
you think
it really just kind of turned into what I know what to do.
So you were younger, right? You were probably I don't know, probably got into it grade school and stuff
Oh yeah.
I know, Caleb, your grandparents, they kind of it seems like out here we're all Midwest kind of we were raised and we grew up around corn and kind of taking care of it, or at least you guys did. I fell into just other stuff, but yeah, it seems like you were younger, and it's just the way that kind of is around you. You got to fix what you're using, and your equipment means a lot to you, right? So
you can't pay somebody to fix everything, because then in the end you don't end up making money. So you have to be able to fix the stuff yourself in order to cut a profit at the end of the year.
That's smart.
And
that's good thinking.
Yeah. And I know, from personal experience to where you would sit, I know, especially out here, in the countryside Midwest, you have to figure out how to fix it regardless, because you might call somebody and be like, yo, we'll get you in 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks can't happen, man.
You need to do this today.
Right, today.
So you got to jerry rig some stuff up and make it work,
Baling wire is your best friend.
Oh my God. Or just regular wire even.
Yeah. Duct tape.
Yeah. Duct tape, zip ties. It's all about zip ties now, I feel like. Yeah, so you started younger. You kind of get forced into you're helping out on the farm. You're helping us do things today, and you're like, God damn it. But now you grow up and you're you kind of just, you did it, and you kind of, it's a way of life now. I think we're just fixing shit. We just got to fix every piece of shit that comes across our face now. So be it your toilet, we were talking about in the last episode, or your mower. We're probably talking about your new little mower here in a minute, but yeah, so... Yeah, did you go from where you started from that? Did you you met this guy and you're like, we got to make a podcast? No.
I kind of started with truck tires. When I was 16, I did the job every kid does. I started working in fast food. I worked at Subway.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of work before I was 16.
Did you eat fresh?
Let me tell you, in fact, it is not fresh. I'm going to get in trouble for that. But
He was actually a sandwich artiste. Let's be politically correct.
I had skills, damn it. But no, and then
Sandwich making skills.
it was nuts. I was like a ninja with sandwiches. That's a lie. I sucked at it, dude. I was so bad at making sandwiches. But that's when I found out wrenching was better.
Sandwiches suck. I'm gonna turn rusty bolts for my
Fix a
life.
sandwich or fix a truck.
Let's see. Do a job that I'm decent at, or do a job that I hate and love. But no, I
common theme.
went from there to Hardee's for like 6 months. Turned 18. The Loves it was in had a tire shop opening, and I moved out to the tire shop and worked there for about a year, and then I got a job with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
We were both working at the same place, and worked on trucks there, built my knowledge a little bit more, and it's been kind of just an uphill thing from there, learning more and more at every place. And
Yeah, it never ends, right?
Yeah, no.
Like you think
You
you're
can-
gonna figure out everything about a tire, and then
you don't know certain tools exist until you Amazon some shit, and you're just like, oh my god, they make that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
man.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah, so I grew up to bounce around. Now we're working on Chris's Botar's car in your shop, dude. This is your place. Also, thank you. I do work out of this place, and I kind of like overwhelmingly, like I just jammed so much of my stuff in here, so thanks. But, it's working out. We get to do a lot of stuff and work on a lot of stuff. We just did, Botar's brakes, which you just had an issue.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that as
Well,
we were
I was
rolling up to do this
Pulling
issue?
into the driveway, and one of my brakes blew out. So after the show,
I think-
we're gonna be making some short content,
Yeah.
looking at that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking nightmare.
Who was the shitty mechanic that did that job? that guy sucks.
No, but for real, I did just get new tires put on, so they might have nicked something or dinged something, because
Yeah.
they did not look like they knew what they were doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
They shouldn't have been around a car.
What are the odds? You just pulled up and then something breaks, right? That's how shit
At
goes.
least I'm here and not on the side of the road. You know?
Yeah. Managed to limp it here. But this is a shop, man. Thank you for letting us use it. And obviously, it's kind of worked out. We get to do a bunch of stuff together. So, yeah, man. What else have you done? So, you want to talk about basically when we were at the propane hauler guy? Oh, I don't know if we should say the name, so probably won't.
Yeah.
But we worked on what we call them bottles,
just
the
big-
53 foot, or are they
they're
48?
those 48 foot.
48 foot. But they were bottles. They hauled liquid propane and nitrous, a bunch of other.
all sorts of liquids and gases and things,
But,
all hazmat stuff.
Yeah, So I remember, working with you. I had already been in fixing whatever, fixing and being basically a mechanic at this point. So, I showed up, but you even showed me things. You helped me basically get my feet wet into the liquid propane, propane and propane accessory world, because I didn't know a damn thing about it. We started working there, man, and you were doing a lot of tires and a lot of trailers. I was a little bit of trucks and stuff, but yeah.
It was definitely an experience, that's for sure. I mean, dealing with chemicals that you have to be careful around, like when working on them, because if it's leaking or something and you light a torch, that's it.
The wrong side.
You're done. You ain't got to worry about paying bills no more.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was definitely a learning experience, because we had trailers that they didn't care about price of parts. They didn't care about if it really needed it. If something was even slightly going out, like slack adjusters, S-cam bushings, even if it was just had a little bit of play, they were like, throw new ones on. We want all new ones. We want this to be good. New tires while you're at it. It was just
It is kind of nice
they
to
had
work
good
for.
equipment.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's nice to work for a kind of guy that just actually fixes stuff. You guys will probably talk about the farmer you worked for, but when he didn't want to fix a dam, right? Caleb just had a Vietnam flashback.
Exact opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
That is,
And that could, we could perfectly roll into that jackass you guys had to work. And I didn't even work for the guy. I just, met him once, and I was like, this guy can be a tool. I could just get a vibe. But from the world of fix it. Please get this all done and make sure it's greased and ready to roll, compared to the guy who.
Oh my God, going from that one, so going from listening to you guys, and I didn't work there, so I don't know, but it seemed like 100 times better than when we worked for our last boss, who was a farmer. And mind you, farmers have a very specific look on what they want and how they want it. This one just, it didn't make sense. Like, Chad, you were generally, and I don't know how you got put in charge of it, but you got put in charge of, well, make sure we have parts. And it didn't make sense. Like, what?
So, like, my thing is, if you have something that you're going to be going through quite a bit, like a part or...
Wear items, right?
Yeah,
we call them wear items.
Yeah.
Brake pads or it could be a belt. It could be grease and oil, right?
It would never hurt to have a spare. And we had a point where we were going through airbags on trailers. These were hopper bottom trailers for, hauling grain. And they were all the same brand, all the same length. They were different models, but that's just because they were different years. But
they all Wilson trailers.
Yeah, they all took the same airbags. And I remember one time we had one that had an airbag go out, and I was like, I'm going to order 2, just because every time one would go down, the trailer's down, we got to, hurry up, run to the parts store, which is fucking...
You start fixing one,
30 minutes away.
Yeah, you start fixing
and I'd get it stripped down, run to the parts store, run back. There, you got an hour of lost time. So anyway, I bought a second one. I brought 2, got the one replaced, trailer out of the shop, and I put the other one in the back in what was supposed to be the parts room. And I remember he went back there, saw me do it, and then was like, "What's that for?" I said, "It's a spare. We need a spare because this is going to happen again. It's normal. That's what happens. We run these trucks hard." And he came unglued. He was going on and just ranting and raving about...
Why are you buying another part? We don't need that part. Are you out of your damn mind?
We don't need this right now. Yeah. Things cost money. And I'm like, yes, what? They cost money.
We need things, right?
Yeah. You do realize I'm going to use this. And it was this whole ordeal, and I just kind of walked away. I was like, whatever. And then... I shit you not, a week later, we had another one blow out. And I was like, would you look at that? We have a spare. Because we were in a time crunch. Like, it was important we get that thing moving again. And it was just, like, such a feeling of satisfaction to be like, hey, look what I have.
Fucking told you so.
Let me slap this in 30 minutes.
Here's another one for you, going exact same... sort of mindset, and it's actually for the same person. He told me and Chewy to go change oil on a giant four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive tractor. I was the 9570.
9570.
One of a very brand new four-wheel drive tractor, and we're like, okay. We looked. He's like, just make sure, just change it right now, because we were down for the day. We weren't doing anything, and we were getting ready to start
chiseling.
So we're like, okay. We both go into our secondary parts room that has all the oil filter, all the oil, all of the flammable shit. And we go in there and we're looking. It's like, we don't have this filter. So Chad makes phone calls around for John Deere to see if we have this filter. No, we're not going to have one. Won't have one until tomorrow. Okay. Go and tell the boss, hey, we ain't got a filter. John Deere ain't going to have one today.
Yeah.
Okay. Just go change it. I'll see if I can get one. And we're just... How are you going to change it?
We don't have a part on hand.
All of the close John Deere don't have it. Like, how?
I called them all within like a 2-hour range. And
they're like, no, we don't have that filter. We don't have the part.
Yeah, and so we're like, okay. So he runs off, or he go, or his dad go?
I think his dad went.
So his dad went to go get it in Mantino?
Yeah.
So we're just like, okay, whatever. And we start changing it. We drain all of the oil out, pull the filter off, and we're like, okay, so we're just sitting, and he comes back, and we go to put the filter on. Wrong filter.
He's not at the right...
Wrong filter.
Wrong size. Wasn't even the right threads. I'm like, how does this make sense? They're all the same threads.
So he goes in there, and he's like, so that's the wrong filter. This ain't going to work, and I have all of the oil drained. And he pitches a fit. Like, I knew we shouldn't have done this. I knew we should have waited. It's like, dude, you told us to do that.
I told you to wait. I said we should probably wait till we have a filter. You said drain the oil and start changing it.
And so his dad had to run like 2.5 hours south
Yeah.
to go get a filter. One filter.
One filter, man. Hey,
That's one way, 2.5 hours to go get one filter.
I just don't start a job until you verify your parts and make sure everything's there. This is funny because we're talking about this guy, like, he's going to lead into probably a later segment, and hopefully you guys will stick tuned for that one.
It would be just so funny if his kids saw this.
No, we're not trying to start drama, but we are definitely going to talk about things in the industry and stuff. And Botar, you probably see it because, well, your day job deals with people in the public, and it might not be the same degree of like, well, repairing a car. But you're repairing people's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's like their issues,
like fixing like artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like when a printer breaks down, you gotta hurry up and rig some shit because you can't get a tech out for 2 weeks. And it's terrible. Like these printers cost millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and like
a big piece of equipment, right? Like a combine.
You got like an hour to get it working to where you can make it run for 7 more hours. Times 4 more days.
Hopefully you chew enough bubble gum, man. Yeah, and you got enough duct tape laying around.
Terrible.
It's like if that like, and it's the parts wise again. Circling back to that, it's like if you're doing art and you do a lot with like T-shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you ain't got a specific paint or oil or whatever that you need.
Yeah.
You're going to be stuck for a while because that doesn't seem like it's readily available.
To go into that, my shop, we run a custom mixing system. So, like, whatever color you want for screen printing, we can basically make it happen. But those colors are mixed with, like, 7 other base colors. So if we're missing one of those base colors and your color happens to use that color, you can't make it. And so there's such a wide gamut of colors. This is, like, it's crazy to think because, like, Pantone is like a company or whatever that does like custom colors. They're standard for pretty much everything, like house paint, car paint, shit like that.
Okay, it's so like a Spectrum thing or whatever.
It's a company that develops like they spend hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars developing these colors and color codes and specific codes.
So everybody can use them.
Basically, everyone. Can use them.
Interesting. I don't know about this.
They have these colors and. For screen printing, each of those Pantone colors has a specific mix for each different software. And then the program that we use has like 7 or 8 base colors. And like you missed one of those colors, there's like 100 colors you can't mix anymore.
You should. It's like if you maybe got the wrong filter.
We had an instance where some customer ordered a custom order with like 5 matches, and all 5 of them had that one color in it.
And you're like that you didn't have.
And you just tried to hobble it, and it came out like shit.
It doesn't come from Indochina for another 6 months. What are you gonna do?
I don't know, man. Just try to do something, I guess.
No, fucking hopes and prayers only work in fairy tales, dude.
And that's like a very different, but kind of the same like spectrum for me. It's like my job, and Chad was working with me at the time. My job, like very specific, I work just general tires for Michelin themselves. So it's like we send to specific people. Now, we have very specific tires that we send out that go straight to Ford's. Like, it's going on their service trucks, it's going on...
It's like to their factory floor?
Right on their brand new stuff. Okay. It's very original equipment, very specific.
Okay.
So these tires that we have to deal with, they have red and or green dots on them for their conveyor systems.
Okay.
So once it's running through the line, when everybody's putting stuff together, if those dots aren't there, it shuts their whole system down.
Yeah.
It's like a quality control check. It's like a QC check or something.
Now, think about this. A multi-billion-dollar company just shut its line down for one tire. For maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
How much money do you think is lost because you didn't? And that's another end of like you don't have the right parts.
Yeah.
Because
what if
somebody
because its sensor is fucked up or something stupid?
You shut down a whole Ford assembly line who's pushing out hundreds of thousands of trucks out a day, and that one mess up is just enough. And then it's like, they didn't have that one filter because somebody put the wrong damn number in. You know.
I think times has just changed. It's just so much harder. I don't know. It seems like it's easier to get stuff than ever, but it's just as hard to get stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can order that part, but it's going to take 2 months, or it's a weird backwater website from halfway around the world that you don't know if you should commit to that, but like you kind of need that part.
Yeah.
.cn.tp.
Yeah.
You got to go through like 6 VPNs to get there.
Yeah, man. So when we came from, or when we were at the petroleum plant, whatever we call it, the bottle mover, we were moving whatever, you know.
Propane.
I guess. I just don't want to keep saying propane. Whatever, it was propane. Yeah, like I guess that world seems so different probably the second you went to Farm Guy. Like we could get a DPF cleaned or swapped out with like one ready on the shelf, and I don't know, airlines were readily on hand, or you could just do a tire even if it looked like that nail might be too close because you don't want to patch it or fix it. You know,
It was a nice thing about being there was that they had stacks of tires. You could retire a whole truck and still have stock left over.
Yeah, right.
Because they were ready for the worst. You know,
Yeah.
guy accidentally runs over a spike strip from a police chase. You know, it's like, don't worry, we're bringing tires.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, we had a service truck, like a full service truck
Yeah,
with a
it was
compressor and
loaded.
everything
It was
in it.
nice.
And there was, I mean, you needed it. I mean, there was a time I had to run to Wisconsin twice because so these tanks have PTO powered pumps on them.
Yeah.
And this one guy, I don't know why, he would deflate his bags because he thought it helped the tank empty out better. But every time he'd do it, it would put a weird angle on that shaft and snap the PTO off the back of his truck.
Yeah, for our listeners that might not know, PTO is it's an external shaft, so it comes from the truck and it runs to this thing under the propane tank, and it spins very fast. But if the angle is incorrect, you're putting a huge amount of stress and load on a joint. But yeah, Chewy had to fix it because this guy had to do it his way. Had to have his like truck leaning. I don't know. The point is, he would ruin parts. At least we had the service truck to get you. Dude,
and
like,
it was 2 hours each way.
Yeah.
And I went up there, and the second time it was at the same place both times, like almost the exact same spot. Like the second time I went up there, I asked him, I said, did you deflate your bags again? He's like, well, of course. I'm like, I'm going to need you to stop doing that because
knock that off.
I don't like this drive. I may be hourly, but I like to go home.
Yeah.
and that was the thing was they had a on-call phone. So like every week they'd delegate somebody new, they'd give them a cell phone and be like, hey, you're on call. You have to come in if somebody breaks down overnight when nobody's here, whatever. And that was one of my on-call phone calls was going to deal with that. So like 2 a.m, I had to go to work, get this all loaded up in the truck, drive up to Wisconsin, and just be like, "Hey, cut the shit out."
Where was that been? Up by like Milwaukee area?
Oh, it was
Kenosha?
just north of the border.
Like
of
Kenosha?
Illinois.
Probably south.
was
If it's on the
south of
border,
Kenosha.
it'd be like
It was
I wouldn't even know.
Beloit. Just naming off places.
Just name it Wisconsin.
What sounds like
Cheese water.
Wisconsin beer garden.
We have here, yeah. We just triggered like a couple Wisconsin. Hey.
Shut up, you fib.
Hey, that's on the north side.
Leave us soda fountains alone. No, I don't know what Wisconsin.
The bubbler?
The bubblers.
Bubblers.
That's
Yeah.
East Coast.
Isn't it? I don't feel like Wisconsin people say it. We've deemed them to say it now.
Yeah, that's it.
They are,
Wisconsin is actually in New England.
yeah. So, yeah, you know what? Just to go on, yeah, that's some of the things you've done. You had to fix some PTO shaft, tires. You did oil changes. You know how to slack
changes.
adjusters, brakes on trucks. This is all on highway road trucks. So if you're driving down the road and look to your left or right and see a Peterbilt or a Kenworth or like a Volvo, that's the stuff we were working on. Because trucks don't really like. When I look at it like a Chevy 1500, like our trucks out here, it's like it's not really a truck. It's just like a big people mover. Trucks are stuff that move equipment and they're
Upwards of 100,000
upwards of
pounds.
100,000 pounds. And that's not to say it's not a truck. It's just like big trucks are just a different level of like shit to deal with.
It's a passenger truck, not a heavy duty truck.
Yeah, right. Passenger, exactly.
And I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are like, but my hot shot.
You duly don't count, bro.
I saw a dually drop a container once. Don't start with me.
So I actually have 2 questions for you. So in the thread that I ask like everybody, or we ask each other for the last 2 episodes, what was your worst repair experience, and
Yeah, this is nice.
what was your best? Like, what was your most rewarding one? So do the worst first. I want to hear this.
Oh, jeez.
So I worked in a town.
No, wait, not that story.
All right. We won't talk about the club this time. Next time. But no, I worked in a town about 20, 25 minutes north of here, and I worked for a different repair shop there. It was a more in-depth shop. They did a lot more. Well, the one place we worked was pretty in-depth, but this was for anybody. This wasn't just company trucks. This was a repair service. And anyway, we got a road call for a guy 25 minutes south like right by my house on the interstate. He had a flat tire and he didn't know why. And it was middle of winter. It was cold. Wind chill was like negative 50, 60. It was awful.
Cold weather, yeah.
And so I grabbed some tires. I go out there, and this, these new semis, they're putting a lot of these side skirts on. And it's to help with fuel efficiency and, all that fun shit.
Yep.
Well, anyway, come to find out his brakes froze while he was driving.
Whoa.
I don't know how that happened, but all I know is I went under there and to put the jack under, and I could just see ice formed on his brakes. And it locked up, and it caused his tires to burn off.
Well, really? That's
so
crazy.
I'm over there. I get it all jacked up, get the tires changed out. And the whole time I'm out there, I can't feel my face. I've got coveralls on, thick Carhartts, layers of clothing on underneath. And I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, it's so cold. And anyway, I get that all done. I go back underneath. And when you go underneath these trailers with these skirts, it makes a wind tunnel. And the wind was just right. It was blowing through there, and it felt like being in a deep freezer. I just remember under there with a hammer. I got gloves on that aren't doing anything. Yeah. I'm sitting there beating the shit out of this thing, trying to get the brakes to free up.
Dude, I feel when you work outside, especially in the cold, you could be 8 layers thick, man. You could be like a triple layer chalupa from Taco Bell. It doesn't matter.
Cut right through.
Yeah, dude, you're outside and you got to swing a hammer, and you're like this mother.
You're already on edge because you're on the side of the highway.
Yeah, I was about to say highway.
People aren't paying attention.
They don't give a shit, dude.
And I just I finally got it. Like, you hear that relieving pop when the brakes come free. And I was like, oh, thank God. But then you have to crawl back to the front of the trailer because I'm not a small man. I don't fit under them axles very well. So I crawl back to the front, climb out the side. I get in the truck, and I call my dispatch. I'm like, hey, this is all done. I need to bill them out so I can leave. And she's like, oh, they called again. They want you to check something else under the trailer. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the blow-off valve for the brakes. They're like, they think it's not releasing. And I'm like, lady, I'm not going back out there.
You can drag me back out there.
She's like, you're on the clock. You get out there and you fix that truck. I was like, you come fix it. And then I got out and went and fixed it. But after that, I just remember having the heat blasting all the way back. And I couldn't feel it. I was still chilled till I got home that night. That was about the roughest one.
Right on. Yeah,
what was the most rewarding?
Same job, actually. I think one of the ones, I don't know if it was rewarding, but it was just, I can't believe I got paid for it.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
It was,
yeah, right.
we had this contract with Amazon. And it was, if an Amazon road call came in, you had to be packed up and leaving in 10 minutes. Like, you had to be ready. Drop whatever you're doing. If they come out and say drop whatever you're doing and go do it.
It was like in the contract. That was important. They want, really.
Amazon wanted theirs first.
Not to cut you off, but they do that with printing too.
Really?
So if you do on demand,
it's like an emergency.
You have to have it out within the day, otherwise you lose your contract.
Wow.
Yeah, that was their big thing.
I don't think I ever dealt with any weird contract, and I did stuff for railroad companies, but they was never crack crazy. So
they were like, because you had to record the time you left, the time you got there, the time you did the repair. Like, when you were
gotta know. Bezos gotta know.
They were so nookie.
Yeah.
Bezos needs his numbers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got this call for a trailer at a warehouse. They say, oh, the lights weren't working or something. And I'm like, okay, this should be pretty easy. We had light check boxes in the truck. We just plug them in and it would cycle all the lights.
7 ways thing.
Well, anyway, I go up to this warehouse, and the guard lets me in their yard, and I'm looking around, can't find this trailer, can't find it. I keep looking for about 20 minutes, can't find it. So I go back to guard check, and I said, I'm looking for this trailer number, and I got to work on it. So he says, oh, go check around the other side. It might be over there. So I go and look, and it was a taillight or something on the back, and this thing is backed into a dock, and there's nobody here. Warehouse is shut down for the night. And I go back to guard. I'm like, do you have anybody that can move this trailer out so I can work on it? He's like, no. you're going to have to wait till 5. This was 2 a.m.
So you just sat
So I called my dispatch. I said, hey, this is the situation. I can't work on this trailer.
It's backed up to the dock.
She called Amazon, and Amazon said, sit there. We'll pay you.
Get out of
I
here.
literally sat there.
Netflix?
Sat there for like 3.5 hours. And like, I was like just sitting there watching my phone. Like, the dispatch was like, just take a nap, do something. Like,
Wow, that's awesome,
so
man.
I sat there for 3.5 hours, and then I get back, and I got paid for that whole time. And
awesome.
it turned out the light wasn't even broken. It worked fine. It was the truck that was hooked to it because it was some outside contractor. I'm like, well, this was a waste of everyone's time, but
Oh my God.
I'm making money.
I wonder what the statistics are and how often that happens, like worldwide, between all kinds of different companies. Because you think about like the amount of money, like Caleb was saying, like that 20 minutes that Michelin's like shut down over the tires or whatever. Like, how much money do you think is lost because of just pure ineptitude?
Of just like, yeah, a guy
Thousands.
like
Like,
forgot
oh my
to
God.
latch like the door. He's
Oh,
like,
hey, my truck's broken. Your trailer's broken. What?
It was just like the same warehouse, same situation. But the problem is Amazon does not want it to be their fault, which I get it. You don't want it to be their fault. They don't want to have to pay it. They want the company, the contractor.
They still paid you.
Yeah, but that was
right.
that was their trailer, so it was
right, I
their
get it.
ordeal. But anyway, little short scenario. We had a different one come in, road call, and I went to this warehouse, and I had the driver there like, I had this driver like, this isn't my fault. ABS lights on. It's not my fault. It's their fault. And I'm looking, this is a brand new trailer. Amazon is on the phone like, this isn't our fault, it's his fault. And I go and I'm looking at the truck, brand new truck too.
Brand new truck and trailer.
All these things are brand fucking new. And I'm
like,
like,
what's wrong?
I'm like, what's going on here? I go underneath. One of the ABS sensors is unplugged.
it's just unplugged.
I
Two
plugged
wire.
it- I plugged it back in. I was like, hey, roll forward like 10 feet. He did. Light went out. And I was like, no, this looks like it's Amazon's fault.
Can you tell him I'm here for another hour trying to figure this out? Bro, it's like, I got you.
So
He's like, you're running my clock, actually. But now when a truck driver would say, get off
yeah,
my
like,
clock.
oh, my e-logs.
Shut up, man.
I was a truck driver. I know.
Yeah.
We got text milking e-logs all day at my shop.
Oh, my God.
It's just, it's all computerized now. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean, it's just little shit like that was.
Two ends of the spectrum, right? You get to sit around one day and fuck off for a couple hours, and then the others, you gotta get it done now in the rainy, cold weather on next to the highway. Or while the farmer's screaming at you.
Dude,
No, he'd yell at me to yell at Caleb.
that didn't make any sense. Like,
yeah.
he wanted Chad to be my boss
I just want
so
to say
bad.
that I'm so happy you guys don't work there.
Yeah,
anymore
me
because,
too,
Like,
right.
the stories, it's such a toxic work environment. So, like, I'm for sure happy you guys are out of it.
Same with the last place. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking, but so good working in the rain and stuff. That's kind of funny. Chad will have 20 different stories. It could be pouring down rain, like tornado pouring down rain.
Tornado. There's like whales in that tornado.
It's like
And
the green
that last
skies.
boss would literally turn to him and be like, we're down for the day. This is a good day for you to go change oil. But that machine is in the middle of a muddy field. Go ahead and walk everything out to that machine and go change the oil.
This is stupid as shit.
And he
I'm like,
comes back covered and like from shoulders down to toes in mud. And he's just, your oil's changed.
It's done now.
You would have to do like 5 of them. You would have like 40 gallons of oil just to go change.
Like it was the kind of weather where you're pouring oil in a funnel, it's coming out and going sideways. Like
Oh
you have
my
to like
God.
tip the funnel and like
Compensate
let the
for the
wind
wind.
blow it in
Hey,
there.
just hold your body like this. Just stop the wind, please, for crying out loud.
Damn it, I didn't bring the cardboard.
Yeah,
And he
like,
only got help
right.
every once in a while too.
Yeah, only once in a while. And it was like he would send the people that would be like, oh, they're gonna help you, and they just watch me do it. I'm like, this is great, thanks.
Why are you here? Please just hold a light and not in my eyes.
This is the same boss that like every day would be like, why do you smoke so many cigarettes? I'm like, I wonder.
Quit fucking talking to me, man. He's shaking.
Or we'd come, like,
Like-
every day we'd go to lunch and we'd go to the gas station that's like 10 minutes from work. Every day. We'd be back on time every single day. And he would look at both of us and be like, we need to stop going to the gas station for lunch. It's like, It's our lunch.
It's our lunch.
We get a steak Mandarin
Yeah, sorry.
lunch.
You guys are spending too much money at Casey's. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought when I cashed the check, it was mine.
Right.
Sorry, Dad.
Why do my employees now want to work for free?
So if I could have you work 26 hours straight and for less money, that would be great.
We almost did.
Yeah, we almost
almost did.
Indentured
Yeah.
servitude, please.
Isn't it? It's also weird. There is weird laws about like farmers don't have to pay overtime in certain situations. So, yeah, if you guys are listening to that, it's kind of weird. We kind of know your pain and feel your pain. At least these guys
and
do.
we're not saying that all farmers are assholes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
no,
not.
absolutely
But
not.
It's just that
think-
some of them get too big and they don't think about like the little things anymore. And like,
I think we can all have a shitty boss.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
right.
right.
You know, like
I've worked with other guys on farms and stuff.
Shitty
Like,
coworker.
I mean, my grandpa, he was the nicest man on the planet. Like, yeah, he had those days where just shit didn't go right, and he would lose his temper. But it wasn't like, you know, he'd just be like, "This sucks." We'd fix it, and he'd be like, "All right, everything's fine now."
Yeah, he wouldn't
Like,
look at you and be like, "This is your
you
fault."
did this.
You did-
You
yeah.
broke this equipment I was driving.
oh, this
Damn
is
it, Chewy.
this is gonna go perfectly into some other
He,
stuff.
I didn't believe, honestly, when you guys told me that you didn't get overtime.
Yeah.
And
Because we weren't classified as farmer or like farm hands. We weren't like we were classified as truck drivers.
yeah, well, that and like I looked into it too because you know I have to double check everything nowadays. But I
It's
looked
all
into
AI, dude. It's all fake.
Anything that's classified as ag, you don't have to pay overtime
Nope.
on. Doesn't matter if you're a truck driver. Doesn't matter if you're a farm hand. Doesn't matter anything.
That's just-
They also don't have to provide you insurance.
Nope.
Yeah. No, there was a times like I needed insurance and I went to him and I said, "Hey, I'm going to quit if you don't give me some kind of insurance." And they were like, "Okay, we'll get you insurance." And then they were like, "How much do you want to pay a week?" I'm like, "Well, how much can you like how good of insurance are you going to give me?"
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Well, we can pay half of it and you pay like the other half, whatever." And it turned out to be really decent insurance. And like the thing is though, how they were doing it, I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm like, why do we have to do everything so shady around here?
But it's just, I think, the way it is. We've made the system so convoluted and so like tax heavy or law bylaw
So
this
much red tape
so much
for
red
everything.
tape that then you make more gray areas for more
Is your
red
insurance
tape.
in your boss's name? Is that how
It was
works?
like, yeah, right.
It was auto pay from their account.
Oh no!
When you go to the doctor, make sure you hand them my card. Like they
Yeah.
hand you their Blue
just
Cross Blue
just
Shield.
use my ID.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they it was some shady shit,
yeah, man.
but
Okay, one last question probably before we get into some other stuff. At least I have. If you guys have any other questions for Chew, I mean, he's your guys' guest just as much as mine.
okay,
On
I
Technically Broken. Everybody,
got-
leave some comments. Check out the links.
I got one more.
Check out
I'm
TikTok.
gonna say this all wonky. Well, it's the brokenest shit you ever did to try to hobble some shit home.
You're worried because you got your
Yeah.
brake issue today.
Because what is it? Tell me.
it's hard to think of. So
I feel like it's something we've done, haven't we? Just
feel like it.
fucking
I'm trying to
just
think.
hack some shit together.
Mine's always involving brakes.
Yeah,
I
yours,
have
yeah,
seen
you
some
brakes.
messed up shit. There was a time when
The Harley.
This-
Well, no, we got the Harley towed.
yeah, no, I put that one on a trailer. No, there was a time. Actually, this is kind of like I don't know. I didn't know this combine I was driving broke. Okay. I just remember we
hell
were
does this
working all
mean?
day. I was operating a combine, a 660 John Deere, and I was going down the road, and there was a car that wouldn't move over. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen these, like you guys, but they're huge. And people in the country have to work with you a little, like move over a little, just because I can't put this thing in the ditch. It's so
It's
heavy.
huge equipment, man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get stuck.
Our like country roads, yeah. People get it who do live in the country, Midwest, anywhere you're kind of got farm territory. They just know it might be a gravel road. It's going to be very narrow to get two cars going down, and they both aren't maybe in the ditch a little.
And they
you
have
know?
a hell of a shoulder.
Right. So, and like they're very steep or drop off. So that means you have the possibility to roll into a ditch or roll off a cliff, like So, in your instance, or you guys, when you guys drive big equipment, it's just you got to watch out for dumbass. You got to watch out for people. They're not going to move out of your way or whatever,
People
right?
don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but I was going down this road, and I saw a car coming, so I moved over the most I could. And this car was still dead center of the road, would not get over at all, was not working with me at all. And so I pushed it even farther, and I was basically like tipped almost over in this thing. And I didn't hear anything crazy. Nothing crazy happened. Whatever, car went by. I heard a little noise, like a little pop. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Didn't see anything wrong. Tires looked fine. Everything looked fine. Or at least tires I could see from the cab. I knew the back ones were fine because I was steering fine. But anyway, I ran like all day. All day. Caleb was my truck driver. He was the one that got the grain from me. And he calls me as I'm on like one of the last few fields of the night. He says, hey, what's wrong with your tire? I said, what do you mean what's wrong with my tire? And I look out the window, and this whole inside duel is just, I'm like, oh my God.
So it's about to come off the rim.
I get out.
From the inside.
I get out and I look, and the whole dish of the rim snapped off of the outside of the rim, and the tire was just free floating in there the whole time.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, it didn't act up until I saw it.
until you were aware of it?
Until I knew about it.
That's
And
loud.
then-
Throttles up.
Yeah. Once I knew it was there, I noticed every time it would come around, it would rub the side of the combine. And so, like, I just remember, like, I'm like, I can't keep going. I got to stop. So I backed up, and I noticed when I turned, that wheel would shift. So I got the furthest in part closer to the bottom, and then turned the combine so it shifted that rim back out.
What are we doing?
I just kind of got back up on the road and was like, fuck it, and sent it down the road.
If it comes off, it comes off.
Comes off, not my problem.
Yeah, those are like 3-piece wheels or something?
No, they're one piece.
They're just, you actually just
I made it
roll.
2-piece.
Yeah. That's a one
Snapped
big
all those
steel
wheels.
And
wheel.
it was kind of funny, you know. We actually had a couple instances of something like that happening, and you were just going through the field, and then I was just standing outside because I'm like, I'm gonna have a cigarette or whatever, and I just look over and I just see something just kind of
The fucking ladder.
Yeah, I was gonna come into that right now actually, but I'm just like, that doesn't. Why does the tire look like it's wobbling? I'm like.
Doing a dance down the
And I
road.
just called him like, yo, what the heck? And he's, oh, God! Holy shit! So, that was kind of funny. Different instance, different piece of machinery, same job. He was operating a sprayer, and it was, what, a 60-foot boom?
100-foot boom.
100-foot boom? It was a 4830?
Yep.
A John Deere sprayer. And we're going, and I just filled him up. We had just filled up, and I'm like, all right, cool. We're going, I'm waiting for him. I think I was following you to the next field or whatever.
It's liquid, right?
Yeah, liquid.
So we're talking about, people
Liquid,
listen, it's a liquid fertilizer sprayer that goes on a big tractor.
Well, this one was
this-
full
it's-
on.
it's only a sprayer.
Was it sprayer? Okay,
Yeah,
so it's a
it's
big
just
sprayer. It's not a
dedicated
tractor,
sprayer.
Dedicated sprayer. So these things have huge arms that fold out, and there's a bunch of wires and cables attached that feed out this liquid,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Okay, so all right.
You got
go on.
about a bunch of nozzle bodies.
A bunch of
that-
nozzle,
that
right.
Yeah, it's
Put out a mist.
Yep.
So, and then this sprays over the crops. You
Yes.
drive over the crops and
Yep.
it sprays.
Just
and-
Google John Deere sprayer.
Yeah, John Deere sprayer, yeah.
And it's not the pull behind one. It's a full
Yeah,
dedicated.
you drive it, right.
Yeah.
So we had just finished. We either just finished the field. I think we just finished the field and we were moving to a different one. So I was going to follow him. Yeah, we did. It was just, and we filled up, and the ditches were extremely steep. But this thing sat super high up, so you could clear ditches with it, and it was fine. So I filled, and I didn't think nothing about it. Took off to the next field, and I watched him like try to get out of this ditch, and he couldn't. And I was just, that's kind of strange. And even he was like, I don't know why I wouldn't go. So he backs up. He backs up and goes to a different part of the ditch and just climbs right out. And we go to the next field. And I'm like, okay, whatever, we're going. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm watching him because that's what else can you do when you're waiting to fill him again. And he's going. And I like looked at him. I'm like, that's rather strange. Normally, so there's a drop-down ladder on the front of this thing, so you can climb up because it's got a platform to the cab.
It automatically goes down when you put it in neutral or
Yeah.
park. It like folds itself down, and then once you put it in drive, you give it about 5 seconds, it'll fold itself back
or you
out.
start moving a little bit.
Or you start moving.
So normally it'll flop down to look damn near about this, and when it comes back up, it's almost straight up and down.
Yeah, it looks like a mini stairwell, and
Yeah.
then it folds up. Into,
Yeah.
like in that. Yeah.
So I'm watching, and this thing is straight out, and I'm just like, what's up with that ladder? And it's in front of him, but he's not paying attention to the ladder. He's paying attention to everything else. So I call him like, hey, dude, what's up with your ladder? And he looks over and I just hear, oh, fuck! I'm like, oh, shit. And he comes flying back up to me. That ladder is broke to shit.
Bent sideways.
So it turns out why he couldn't get out of the ditch is the ladder was keeping the machine from going up.
I'm sitting there like just ramming into this ditch. Like, why can't I climb this? And the whole time I'm just smashing the ladder sideways.
And it took a couple of months before we ever got it fixed. And there's a secondary ladder on this thing that you have to pull out and then drop down.
It's to fuel.
Yeah.
But now it's the permanent ladder.
I'm trapped on this machine until someone puts that ladder down.
Oh my god.
But we get it back. We called the boss. I'm like, or I think you called the boss.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, so.
I kind of fucked the ladder.
And he freaked the fuck
Shit's
out.
broke, man. Sorry.
Because at this point, it wouldn't even stay up or down. It was just kind of whatever, free floating, stuck. And so I'm trying to find bungee cords and this and that to hold the ladder in place, because otherwise it's just going to flop around and break more stuff.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm getting phone call after phone call like, are you guys moving yet? Are you guys moving yet? Are you guys? No, I'm trying to fix this.
Like unhooking the hydraulic cylinder from the back of it so he can just flop
At least,
it up.
yeah, get it moving and stuff.
And
was it completely bent and fucked?
Oh, it was.
so
It wasn't just stuck straight out. It was fucked up,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah. Those ladders are designed so that they crush. So that way, you don't damage other, pieces of the machine. But the problem is when your boss is cheap, he's like, I need you to uncrush those.
Can you hands you a bent pop can.
I need you to fix this.
How long did you have to use that broken ass ladder?
Months.
Forever.
We did end up I wanted to order new sides and new steps because the sides of the ladder and the steps, you just bolt them together and it makes a new ladder. Simple, easy as that. He's like, that's expensive. So what we're going to do, I know a guy, he has a roller. He's going to straighten these sides out, and you're going to use the same steps and put it back together.
Oh, no.
And I just remember I got it all back together. I had to fight that thing because everything's bent out of shape. It doesn't want to line up.
It's got memory now that shouldn't have.
And I get it, back to functioning. It's usable. But every time you fold the ladder up, you could just see it's got a curve to it.
And when you stepped on it, it immediately bent to one way. Slightly.
It was like, whoa.
And then we have this thing fixed. The next season, he does it again in the same fucking field.
The same spot.
Same spot. And I specifically told him, because that was the last field we worked on, I was like, hey, man, don't forget about the ladder. He's like, yeah, because we stopped and ate lunch, because I went and got lunch. So he just ran over to the truck real quick and got lunch. I was like, hey, man, when you back up, or remember to back up so your ladder goes up. And then I'm just slowly creeping and just, he bends it again. I'm like, God damn it.
That's great.
That's the ladder again.
As bad though. We were able to bend it back pretty
I
easily.
called my boss and I was like, hey, so the ladder. And he's like, oh, damn. He's like, did you not learn anything last time? I was like, no.
Even I was like, God.
I get back and this thing's sideways again. Not as bad, but it's still bent.
Now we gotta
and he
deal
comes
with
out and
this
he's just like, again? Really? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
But,
I'm doing 1,000 acres a day, okay? It was the least of my concerns.
Yeah.
So-
just trying to get back in the field like you asked.
So I kind of want to get us to next point. So you've been in this field for how long now?
Mechanic?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much my whole life I've been working on stuff.
How long you think you'd say officially?
Employment-wise,
At least 10 years, because the
10
propane
years.
place,
Yeah,
this propane
well,
place was 20.
my 28th birthday's coming up a couple days, so about 10 years. Yeah, give or take. Because, I mean, if you're not including the time I worked on our own farm equipment and stuff, if you include that, God, it's probably 20 years. Because, we obviously had to repair shit here. But, yeah, no, from a professional standpoint, about 10 years.
Now, is it
You've been working on stuff since you were 8?
Yeah.
now?
My grandpa would be like, hey,
don't-
you're small. You could fit under there, change shovels.
You don't think he was running a weed whacker when he was 10? Look
Dude,
at
I was on the ride mower mowing for 5 hours.
Yeah, he's
He's
running
still
around.
an adult at 9.
I don't. This guy got a chainsaw for his 11th.
It's just my
the big
grandpa-
chainsaw too.
Hey, don't cut your foot off. Here.
Yeah, here.
So
Cuts his foot off.
you've been doing
First
this
thing.
for
Twice.
damn near a decade.
Yeah, or more, right? Or
So
more.
is this now going off another point? Now, is this something you really, really like to do, or do you hate it?
You know,
hate it?
this is going back to like a callback from episode 1. Is this
Yeah.
worth it or junk? What do you think? Is this? Yeah, do you
we
fixing-
like this?
Yeah, do you like this?
Do you like
this?
this?
That's a good question
So-
for our guest. Do you like this?
My biggest thing is that I like working on stuff. I really do. And what I've come to find out is your management is what makes you hate it. If the management's down your throat telling you that you're not doing fast enough, or you're not, you got to start cutting corners, or you got to do it their way, it really kills your drive to do it. And right now I'm kind of focusing more on doing like lawnmowers and stuff like that, because I found out I really like working on
Oh,
them.
you're doing small engines? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been helping you out with some little small engine stuff. So
And it's like, at this point, I'm kind of my own boss, and I'm taking in projects from people and kind of trying to refurb them if, I can, and get them back out. And I'm telling myself what to do. And I'm loving it. I like doing it, and I really enjoy wrenching on stuff. It's just, but I've had jobs where the bosses have killed my drive. Like,
yeah, man, I think you've gotten able to see like kind of two sides. Definitely like the both major sides of like you have to deal with shitty management, shitty bosses, and then kind of doing your own thing now.
sometimes shitty customers.
Well, yeah, we can all have a shitty customer, but even when you work for yourself, you might have a shitty customer. But,
Oh, yeah, I mean-
sometimes if they're paying the bill and whatever.
There's a
but-
difference, though. When you own your company, you could tell them, "Fuck off, don't come back."
Yeah, you're right. You could be like,
Like-
I don't like working with you. Please don't come back.
Don't
Yeah.
call me again.
Yeah,
It
I'm
definitely does make a difference.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, I think they have sometimes they have a better understanding. Like, hey, this is a guy that's doing the stuff. He's the one who, he owns what he's doing, and maybe I shouldn't piss him off.
Amazing.
Not saying, that I would do anything wrong, because I want everything to run for 100 years. If I could keep everything just
Everything's
running
just
beautifully,
junk. So
like the
good
day it
luck.
was new, be perfect. But I mean, like, don't yell at the person that cooks your food.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also think there's a huge difference in a comparison between having to and wanting to. Like if you're employed and that's your job, sure, you obviously got into that field because it's something you enjoy. But you enjoy it a hell of a lot less when you're being told what you have to do all day. When you get at home and it's something that you actually actively want to do, the drive is there,
Yeah.
wanting to do it and having to do it are completely different things. I want to and have to fix my car now, but
yeah, it's
But,
more
you
of
get
a
what I'm
need.
saying.
Yeah, but in the same sense as I think a lot of mechanics or repair guys no roofer wants to go home and redo his roof.
No.
He'd be like, son of a bitch,
but he needs
he
to,
needs to.
Yeah.
I think for you now, you just realize that I think management is a pretty important part. We all know. I think we've all grown up and realized that the people we work with and around is a big fucking factor. That's
Right.
in you having a good day, you just being okay to get out of bed and just do whatever you got to do. That's a huge factor. But at least I think I'm lucky enough to have been doing it. I mean, to work for myself and choose my customer base and have a really good customer base. It is nice. So what do you, okay, right now, I guess in this time, do you as Botar says, do you like this?
I do. I really do. And I think
You liar! Yeah.
he caught me. I hate this. Somebody save me. I'm blinking twice. But no, I
Put a banner down here.
just SOS.
Yeah, so now you're it's not bad?
It's not bad when you can do your own thing. From my last job, the biggest concern I had, and Caleb knew all about this, is we'd have a stack of work orders. And I'd be like, I can fix these things. I can do these things. I just, I can't do them. Because if I did them, he'd be like, why did you do that? Instead of focusing on this, I'm like, why don't you let me knock out this list of work orders?
Oh, dude, I'm going to cut you off because that's going to perfectly lead into what actually I want to bring up here in a second.
Okay.
So, all right.
Fuck me then.
You have, yeah, right. Shut the hell up. We're talking about a bad boss.
What I was gonna say is for all of us, and you work for yourself now. Me and Botar still working for companies and
Ourselves.
So what I think what it boils down to is, and going again, is management is definitely going to make it either a career or a job.
Yeah.
Because a job is just, I just need to make money. What it is.
I'm here to get a
Where a
paycheck.
career is like, hey, I actually want to do my job and I want to do it right.
Yeah, job just over broke, man. That's what I always was told. Job
something that
stands
goes
for.
on with the job over career is like your potential for advancement. Also, like if you've hit a wall, like within your first like couple of years and you're not advancing, that's a job. You know.
But our world is such a weird. Like that. I think this is all perfectly gonna go into the next segment. But
It's when it gives you a sense of I'm here for the income, not the outcome.
Yeah.
That's when you realize it's not something you want to be doing forever.
Absolutely.
and doing it for yourself, having the pride to get shit done, and the smile on like. I like winning races and seeing a happy customer when they get to. Whatever.
Who doesn't like winning races?
Who doesn't like? What? Nobody else is auto racing out here.
Oh shit, sorry.
Okay.
I'm racing lawnmowers.
And do you think you'll see yourself just still fixing stuff? And I guess that could be pretty general. Like you fix your home, right? Like you put in like a faucet or
Well,
something.
it hasn't fallen in yet.
As it's leaning over, guys, we'll show you.
Nobody fucking sneeze.
Speaking about that, oh my gosh, have you seen our upstairs wall? Where the air conditioner is?
No.
That shit looks like it's going to fall.
Oh no, we got to do some windows, but more repairs soon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, do you see yourself doing it, man?
I mean, at this point in my life, I'm like, what else would I do? Because, like, it's kind of, I'm nearing 30, and, I mean, I could go back to school. I could learn some other trade. But
Too old to be a hooker.
I don't know.
That's where you're wrong, you know. I think I'd look pretty good in fishnets. Anyway.
Comment down below.
My links are below. Anyway. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything else I'd really like to do. Like, I like the hands-on. I couldn't sit at a desk. I tried it in high school. I did like I can't remember what class it was, but it was like you were running a gym and you had to do all the paperwork, send all the emails, all this shit, and I hated it. And I was like, I can't sit at a desk. I need to have hands on something and work and get all the little scrapes and dings and stuff. That's it makes you feel alive.
Brake cleaning the cut. Let's breathe.
As soon as that drill bit took that chunk out, I immediately just sprayed brake clean in it.
Brake
It was like,
cleaning. I'm a man. Yeah, that's cool. I kind of see it the same. Like it does suck, but I don't want to do anything else, man. It's cool to fab some stuff. We've and recently you just did some fab work with a guy and stuff. So like you're still fixing stuff, still doing it. I don't think it's almost like riding a bike, right? We're not gonna forget how to turn a wrench.
No.
So like you guys probably feel the same way. Like you're gonna change your oil or whatever. Fix your fucking brakes right this time.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I know it's
last time.
probably
You're
me.
the one that
It was
blamed.
probably me.
The biggest thing for me is like the biggest obstacle I have with this industry is somebody's like, what does that look like? Like a 12 millimeter? I'm like, I don't know. What is that? An American?
It's a 13, Dan.
We are the only country that still uses standard. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
I like both.
it's
I don't
whatever
care.
fits.
Yeah, whatever. 14,
Yeah, that-
16.
I love that. I love that argument of just like the imperial system is better, but it's like I always get that little bitty joke that I love that I've heard. It's like, but what's turning on your ratchet? What's turning that 12 millimeter? Is it a 3/8? Is it a quarter?
Yeah, is it a
3/4? Oh, you still need it, huh? And it's
We
just
flew
so
how
funny.
many miles to the moon?
Yeah,
Whose flag is up there?
But UK still use miles.
right. Yeah, I think certain. Yeah, well, that's why they have mile per hour on every
they still use
I
speedometer.
thought they were kilometers.
No,
The world is
everywhere.
The world is
I'm-
like a
I'm-
half and half.
I'm Midwest. Nothing exists outside of
What did I
kilometers.
see the other day that was built with 9/16 bolts that definitely came from China? And I was like, whoa, they put nines. It didn't have like a decimal point on the head, on the bolt head. It was the dashes like a standard fucking bolt. And I was surprised. Came straight out of China. It was a assembly for, I don't know, man. What was I working on? The point is, I was surprised with some
Was it a
China.
cart?
It was not a cart. It was something to do with
Boat motor?
probably boat stuff. Yeah, because
Boater.
it was a boat motor, boat stuff. But yeah, and they had
Motor boat.
standard bolts in it, and I was surprised because I was like, this should not have it.
But-
and I know they were factory. So.
My biggest pet peeve though is when like you get a product or a machine or whatever and it has both.
Yeah, dude.
Those forklifts I was working on,
Both they were mixed max. So
you're tearing shit apart and you're like, okay, this is all either going to be 13, 15 or whatever. And you get down in there and all of a sudden you're at half-inch 9/16. I'm like, what the fuck
What
is
is
this?
this?
Oh,
Why
but the
did
pump was made here in America. The body was made in Africa.
Yeah, right. Assembled in Mexico.
Like
Echo in Canada.
I don't use metric if you want. Just all one.
All metric, either all standard.
I don't care.
Like,
I'm gonna jam a 5/8 onto it.
Like, I'll make it fit. I'm gonna make it
15
fit.
millimeter. I don't give a shit.
Round off every nut in there.
Right on. Sweet, man. So, yeah, I don't know. You guys got any other quick questions for Chewy before we probably move on here?
I think
No, I think we kind of covered it.
covered
All right, thanks. See you, man. Get the hell out of here.
get out of here.
Yeah, man. You started when you were like a kid, been doing it, still doing it. You hate it, right? You hate the shit.
Hate it so much. Hate it so much. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Wake it up, dude.
And I'll say it again. We love to hate it and we hate to love it.
yeah.
So.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, I'm gonna go fucking work on a mower after this.
It's a complex.
It's got me like it's giving me Stockholm syndrome. I can't leave. Fucking, it's
Wake up sweaty in the middle of the night. Wrenches. 12 millimeter.
The 10 millimeter that's sitting behind
The 10 mil, yeah, our 10 mil, we found one. You guys can't have that one. I don't
That's
care.
ours.
Whoever's watching that, you guys can't have that.
Should have a
10 mil.
sweepstakes for that.
For that one? No, I don't care what.
50 cents per entry.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get it. It's gonna get lost in shipping.
Yeah. Oh, right on. So, yeah, man. Fucking thanks for sharing all the stories, but I think we're just gonna carry on to the next segment. Worth it or junk it?
Worth it or junk it? Worth it or
junk it? Here we go.
So,
yeah,
all right,
bring us in, Botar. Bring us in, Botar.
So I've been doing a lot of research on some things. I saw some things on the internet that I was like, that's cool, until you look deeper into it. And for me, that is like this new thing that's coming over. Well, it's not really new, but digital license plates. So basically what it is it's like a little like license plate shaped tablet that goes on the back of your car, and it syncs live with the Secretary of State of your given state, and it has all your information active. So it has your license plate, and you don't have to go to the DMV to, re-register anything. You just go into the app, pay your money, and then it goes ping, and your plate's live again. And it's pretty cool. Like if you think about like all that, the convenience is like definitely there. You can customize your plate. You can put a little message down, like how like.
So no license plate, and it's just a tablet thing. It's like it looks like this little vape thing out there,
It looks like
a license.
It
plate.
looks like a license plate, but it's like it just looks like your state's plate. But at the bottom, instead of having like your state slogan, like ours says, Land of Lincoln or whatever.
Sure.
It'll say whatever you want it to. You can make it say, fuck bitches, get money. You can make it say whatever you want to. And like right now, they're legal in California, Arizona, and Michigan. They're slated to come to, I think, Illinois, New Jersey, and a couple other states within the next like couple years. They want to have them live by like 2025 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure on the timeline because, bureaucracy, red tape, everything going through filters or whatever. So the cool thing is that they save you trips. They're super convenient. They're temp proof. They don't get frozen. There's two versions right now. There's a battery operated version and there's a hardwired version. And the hardwired version, obviously, it syncs into your car, so you don't have to worry about changing out batteries or anything.
Okay.
And it has memory installed in there.
So this little license plate thing or whatever has like a life cycle of what, 5 years for your car? Like a license plate is forever.
Yeah.
Like
It's
like because it's
right
electronic.
Now right now, the batteries are supposed to last like 10 or 11 years. So the internal battery. So whether you get the battery operated one or the hardwired one, the internal components are rated for 10 years right now.
Okay.
The company's been around since 2008. I'm not going to say the name because there's bound to be more that are popping up here over the next few years.
You can just probably Google license, right?
There's only one company that makes them right now. So, and the whole thing, it's really cool backstory, but that's not why we're here. Basically, the whole thing is that the flip side to all the benefits are they all come, like everything that is connected to the internet, with a pre-installed GPS tracker function.
Here we go. Come on.
The downside to that is that law enforcement, like you can shut it off in your app settings, but as like everything, the law enforcement has backdoor to it.
Right.
And they can turn it on, and it's really scary to think that like they can see everybody where they're going in real time with these license plate things. So like if Jenny Smith is going down the street to go to the grocery store to get some fucking bananas for Jimmy and Johnny, you're
getting tracked.
You're getting tracked everywhere you go, and it's super invasive. The other thing is that that's like the big side is the government overreach.
The big issue sounds like a huge government overreach.
Huge issue. And like that's the caveat, that's well, you get this efficiency and you get all these benefits,
but it's gonna be probably more expensive and it's gonna fucking break because it's a new.
That's the thing is that I looked into it and I was like, is it cheaper because you don't have to print out plates and you don't have to buy stickers? You don't have to make. No, it's actually more expensive because of infrastructure.
Real quick for our viewers and listeners and for Chewy, worth it or junk it is. We're gonna come up with a couple things and you're gonna basically think if it's worth it, would you save it? You want to use it, or you're gonna junk it because it's junk. So junk already. Before you finish this,
I think
this is fucking junk.
My personal opinion is that when I first read it, I thought, yo, this has potential to be fucking sick.
It would.
Real time, you can change your plate, you can change the colors, you can customize it, you can do whatever you want, but here's the downside. If, say, you are late on your license plate sticker, like I am practically every single year, your plate will show expired.
See, I think my trailer's due right now.
It will show.
My trailer's been due.
And they say that it doesn't do this, but I've seen some videos where it'll have a big red slash through your plate. So it'll
You're just a big red X going down the road.
Expired. Big red X going down the road. You are a GTA target.
I get into this. I'm a wacko, everybody. So I'd get into this conspiracy thing about obviously the overreach, but already it's like, so you're telling me I won't even, or like there's even a greater risk, and not to mention you're GPS tracked. So you have a big red X. They know where you're at. They see how fast you're going. You can't avoid a ticket. They would just mail you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're in the car.
No.
It doesn't matter if you're wearing a squirrel suit driving it and you're playing mariachi music going down the road. They're going to send you a ticket going, your vehicle was moving.
Like I do every day.
And that's where my point was going is that
I'm going to take my license plate and fucking mail it to my buddy. Are they going to ticket me for fucking?
They're going to ticket the ticker.
You did 800 miles, not 800 miles, but you did 350 miles an hour.
So the ones that are hardwired, they sync with your VIN number on your car somehow with the computer because it's wired into your computer.
Yeah, because they track every computer and car now. We're going to get into that maybe.
My opinion is junk it. This technology has potential to be awesome, but as with everything technological and anything cool these days, the government overreach and ABC organization overreach is just astronomical and it sours cool shit. So junk it.
I think here's what I like on my little opinion here. Like, so you're saying that the state and law enforcement would have a backdoor into it. Now, what is that if somebody has enough skills to hack into that?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now, what does that stop anybody from hacking into that license plate? And especially if you had the hardwire one, it's hardwired into your computer or your car already.
Yep.
Somebody could screw with your car and
people can hack cars nowadays.
Right, that just makes
Kia Boys not a sponsor.
That makes it even so much easier because now you have a wireless output.
That's one of the biggest concerns. Is apparently they have like Apple level security. I can't obviously testify to that because I don't know. I also don't believe it because why?
Automakers don't
operating on a government contract. You're not going to not give them access.
This sounds like so much crazy shit that they're trying to just implement.
It's all becoming. Like
we already pay a subscription to our government. We already pay the subscription. 1 year fee to drive.
We pay fees to live.
We pay fees to live. There's gas. There's so much. I don't know.
And then
this is where I'm getting into a wacko territory.
And going back on what giving you a ticket, that's crazy to me. Because now there's no need for visual. Hey, you might have been doing 67.
No.
You automatically just
get a ticket.
What I read is that they're not allowed to view speed. They can just view where you're going. The speed thing comes later in later subsequent updates, but the technology already exists. If you have a GPS in something, you can track how fast that thing is moving.
That's so
And so since I already said junk it, just gonna kind of hammer that one home. what you were saying with the hacking thing, that's also like pretty terrifying to think, because like you could hack it, not even just to mess with your vehicle, but you can like make it say whatever you want to. You could put somebody else's plate on there if you had the know-how, you know, like that.
You could rewrite it as a different VIN or something.
Technology is scary, and like it exists in other things that we do, but like it doesn't belong there. Leave my license plate alone.
Well, and now you already have people stealing license plates, stealing stickers.
It's been happening forever, but
now
it happens.
Now you're stealing this $1,000 tablet or more.
Well, you don't need to steal the tablet. You just need access.
You just need access
Well,
to
that's
it.
the thing too. If somebody has the know-how,
It's technology.
like the know-how to just screw with it,
The upside-
they could just steal it.
I just picture kids running around cracking them for fun.
The short
just
upside
fucking
is-
dickheads just run around.
Is that the short-sighted upside? The only upsides that I see is the convenience over that, and then if you had like an older vehicle that you wanted to switch from a regular passenger plate to an antique plate, you could do it all within the app. But like those benefits don't outweigh all of the other negatives.
Right.
I think the world's reliance on technology is getting to be too much.
Yeah, I think we were talking
Like
about
we're
that.
talking about like, oh, you know, this is convenient, but you know, nobody's going to have the skill to do this anymore because we have robots to do it. And like, what happens if we get a horrible solar flare, everything shuts down, and we have to rebuild? How much of this world is built by machines or computers and things, and you know we can't do it without them. Like,
Yeah.
we're getting so reliant on technology, we don't
We're
have
gonna forget.
hands-on skill anymore.
This is a funny one. We've all probably forgot how to write in cursive.
I don't
No,
know.
I still
I
don't.
know
write
how to write in cursive.
I write in cursive all the
It's
time.
just,
I do
it's
not.
just you. You're dumb.
It's just me. I have
My grandparents hammered that home.
I
for me.
traded in cursive writing probably to learn some stupid video game.
Nobody writes
Like,
cursive anymore, though.
But I could not. That's what I'm saying.
They did bring it back though. They've started to teach it in schools again.
That's
My
so
kid's
weird.
school started teaching cursive again,
That's good. Go. They should. People should know that. Like
or stick shift.
stick shift.
Oh
yeah,
my
that's a
God.
dying. That's a dying.
All right,
Right.
before we get into the next one, we all unanimously agree junk that.
Yeah,
garbage.
garbage.
Bullshit.
Chew, what do you
All
think,
right, cool.
Junk?
Garbage.
Junk. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go on to the next one.
All
Who's
right.
up?
Yeah, I guess this is perfectly because I think you're gonna totally feel this or understand. Because we've been talking about this for a minute, but here's like a worth it or junk it about mechanics, the repair industry as a whole.
People are gonna get mad.
Fuck people, that's the point. Fuck all you guys that are gatekeeping or just the assholes of the trades. It doesn't matter if you're a mechanic or a construction guy, a carpenter, to some guy who's moving on a forklift every day. The point is, it's like you can't ask a question without getting bitched at or getting yelled at for doing it slightly different than like you did. You can't get more than a yell or a scream sometimes because that's the only way they know how to give information. And I think this goes with management and stuff. But I think it's like the whole repair industry, and it seems like the people in it are like they're assholes, and we're gatekeeping kids and people that need to be in it. It's a whole industry that needs to be junked and rethought of. Instead of getting mad when you don't know your job,
Yeah, right.
when fucking you turned a bolt slightly different than the guy who you turned it last, I don't think you should be like, stop. This guy doesn't know what's going on. We all had to learn from something. Stop, take the second, and fucking pass on some knowledge. Don't be a fucking asshole. Don't gatekeep the repair world. Everybody should know how to fix stuff. And it seems like in this industry where like, don't talk to the tech guy over there because he's the electrical guy and he won't work on your stuff because fuck him. You know what? Like, be better electrical than that guy because he's scared that you'll know more than him. You know what? If you both shared information, you guys would probably both learn and work better together. And that's like one instance. So I'm like, as a whole industry, I don't know. What do you guys think? You as a professional, Chew, are mechanics assholes? At least in our world, like.
The biggest thing that discouraged me from learning a lot of things was, especially at the last job, being told, like, I'd ask a question and I'd be like, hey, I've never done this. I need you to help me go through this. Because forklifts were like, it was a whole new world to me. They're really simple when you break it down, but there's things on them, you know, like I'm curious, like, is there a process to this or do I just start tearing shit apart? And I'd ask a question, be like, hey, how do you do this so I can do it? You know, like I'll do it your way, but I need you to teach me how. And I'd get this whole thing, well, back when I started, nobody taught me. You need to take initiative and learn how to do these things. I'm like, okay, so now you want me to take extra time, learn how to do it when you could show me your process, which works. You want me to do this whole trial and error thing, and then when something gets broken because I didn't know what I was doing, you want to be like, hey,
become an asshole. Right.
You shouldn't have done that. Well, how do I know that?
Because they're all assholes.
Like, be more open to teaching and less about like, you need to figure this out. Take the initiative.
Motherfuckers need to leave their pride.
I'm taking the initiative to come to work.
Right. Right.
Fucking work with me here.
Check your fucking pride at the garage door. Like, everybody at the fucking oil rig in Texas, check your fucking pride before you walk into the cornfield. Like, before you fucking start your truck in the morning.
That's funny to me, for me, because of what my job is. My job was 100% different from what Chewy's was. His was mechanical. Mine is the hands-on material, like let's move stuff. But my actual job is to teach people how to do things. So I'm listening to this and I'm laughing because when I start with any new person that walks in the door, I start them all the same way, and and it's basically, hey, I'm going to teach you how to drive a forklift, how to drive this piece of machinery, how to do this correctly without hurting yourself, hurting others, doing stuff like that.
Don't break shit.
Yeah, basically. And as soon as they walk in the door, I ask them, how many years of experience do you have moving a forklift? And I've had people, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never done this before in my life.
Yeah.
Cool, you're both getting the same treatment. I don't care how long you've done this. I'm going to show you the way I do it so you're not going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
Because there might be things different from when you did it to when I do it. Because you do it my way, you're going to do it the right way, and you're not going to get hurt. And I'm not going to treat you like, you've never done this. Psh, you're
Get the hell out of the way.
You're a child. No, I'm going to take the time, and I might even take extra time
Obviously,
to make sure
probably,
you know
obviously.
exactly. And I've had people who've never done it before who are experts at driving forklifts. Now, I've had guys who've done it for 15 years go, holy shit, I didn't know you could do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you both the same. And that's what it comes down to. Like, teach them right in the door. That's great. You have 15 years of mechanical experience, but this is how we do it. And, if you have stuff that'll improve what we're doing, bring it in. Let's use it,
I
I'd rather use
actually
that.
prefer newbies when I'm doing training. Because, as everybody knows, I don't work in a mechanical shop or anything. I work for a t-shirt company. We print t-shirts. But I'm also in charge of training new staff. And I actually prefer the people that are new to it entirely because they don't have their own predispositions.
And those bad habits.
Yeah, we had a guy come in a couple years ago. He worked for a shop, and he worked at that shop for 15 years, and he was their top guy. He was, top dog who did his thing there. And when he came back in, and I was like, all right, so I understand that you know how to do this, but I'm going to show you how we do it here and how I do it here because this is our process. And he completely ignored me every single time. And every single time that he backdoored me and went to the other boss or said something and went around me, he fucked it up every single time without fail. And I told him, I was like, listen, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't like the way that I do these things, but I do these things for a reason, and that's why we're doing it this way.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to do it that way, go work somewhere else because it's not going to work out. And it ended up, I don't know what his reason was for leaving down the road, but he was only there for, I think maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but he wasn't there very long. And it ended up not working out because he couldn't get through his head that this is the way, other people do things differently. And there's a reason why.
And I feel like that desperately correlates back into the mechanic world. Like, if these guys who've been doing it for 30 plus years know exactly how to turn this bolt the right way, pass that knowledge on. Let the next person know, so they don't have to go back and fix what you did wrong.
But as that 30-year-old guy, don't shit on the guy who's actually, hey, stop, try, have you considered this? Maybe you do need to sit there and be like, I'm gonna laugh when he fucks this up, let him fuck it up. Then you'd be like, all right, you're gonna do it my way? As a 30-year-old guy, this is what I want as a whole repairman. Let him struggle, okay? Now you're gonna listen to me? Because for 30 years old, you should fucking know me, that's how confident I am. All right, go ahead, you wanna try your way? But don't just, okay, no, you're an idiot. Why would you even pick up that tool like that? Don't do that. Give the opportunity to teach. You got to learn yourself. You got to teach yourself kind of these things. I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, how to turn a wrench and exact angles and dimensions and how to turn stuff. But until you get your hand down there, you're not gonna know.
Right.
So as the old guy, don't chill out. Maybe you'll learn. Old dogs can be taught new tricks.
Do you think they need to struggle a little bit before you like glue them in?
Definitely.
Do you think that's necessary?
Well, see, it's funny for me because I struggle when I still do stuff, and that was because they withheld information.
Yeah.
They struggle because I'm trying to help them, and they don't want to listen to a young guy.
They don't,
and I
like,
fucking experienced that day after day in certain
the
instances.
grizzled people, the grizzled mechanics or whatever, the guys that have been doing this for 50 years or whatever, like they don't ask questions because they feel like if they don't know it, it can't be done.
Yeah, right.
Like, and it's like, well, I don't know. You like, hey, how do I fix this? Well, I wouldn't try that. Well, what the fucking? It needs to be fixed.
I think you should give everyone a chance to at least attempt it on their own, but be there to guide them if they ask for it.
Right.
And if
like-
they're not receptive, then walk away.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
My
This-
problem beyond that.
It's a pride
This guy
thing.
might come in and be like, "Hey, I'm going to do it this way." You'd be like, "That's not the way I do it, but do it your way.
Yeah,
we'll see how
right.
it works
We'll
out."
see, right.
They might teach you something.
Right.
You might be like,
Exactly.
it
Oh,
might be
shit.
something you never thought
Didn't
of.
think I could do that.
And I think that's beneficial between all four of us is that like none of us are afraid to ask each other questions like if we need help with something.
Yeah, even me as a professional, I'm like, are you? I will stop you guys before you round off a bolt. I will stop you guys so quick. Like if I see chaos coming, I fucking jump in. But if you guys do say something, I'm like, all right, what do you got?
You jump in, then you round it off.
And then I say, I'll get mad. At least I did it. I'll get mad. I know I did it. Whatever.
Oh, damn it, this thing's round.
But
now.
like we were taking your door hinge off with the drill, remember? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, don't touch it.
Is that definitely I would junk like them gatekeeping. Absolutely.
You know, yes, junk. It has been worth it getting to where I have been because I've learned so much, and I know I like to teach people how to do things. That's why I do have a YouTube channel, and like I'm trying to make more content and stuff. But like, I enjoy it, and I enjoy learning about it. So it's been worth it, even though it's shitty as it's been. But man, even right now, in the situations I have come across and working in right now, I'm like, junk it. This, and I will fucking say it because I don't care. This boomer mentality of like you were like, I can't ask anybody or do it my way, or for crying out loud, if you can't explain to me honestly how that tool works, then why are you using it?
It just works.
It just you angle it this way, and I was like, what the fuck? Like
it works better if you do it this.
and I'm like,
Spit on it.
And then you know what it does come back to? It comes back to I had to teach myself. I had to learn myself. I have to be out there with Google because these fucking guys can't explain what two pieces of bar and wire stuck between them do in a certain position. You know, and I was like, it's a very specific thing when I'm talking about, irrelevant. But the point is, these guys, like, there's sometimes that I work with a really good crew, and then there's other times with this crew, we're like at each other's throats just because of a difference of opinion, and it shouldn't be that way.
What percentage do you think of it as like can't and doesn't want to? Because like when I was starting out, what I'm doing now,
It's definitely like 3/4 can't or doesn't want to.
yeah.
It's 3/4,
Because
like,
when I was starting out doing what I'm doing, you know, my boss was like, "Hey, we need to get you separating, you know, screen print files." When that's a whole nother tangent some other day. But he's like, "I need you to get doing this," and I was like, "Okay." And I asked my manager, I was like, "Hey, can you teach me that?" And he goes, "No." And I'm like, "Why not?" He goes, "Job security." And he just didn't. And I like went to my boss because a week later I was like, "Oh," and I didn't know. I had just started there. My boss goes, "Why don't you know how to do this yet?" Job security?
yeah.
And he ripped into that guy so hard, and like he moped around training me how to do it for like the next 2 weeks.
I just don't. Oh, go on.
I've got the opposite end of that now. Now like in my job, I've cemented my knowledge of what I do so hard that most management, like I've got many people above me, and especially in my department, and all of them are like, "Hey, what do we do here?" And I'll be like, "Isn't that your job to know?"
Yeah, aren't you the
Right.
supervisor?
I hate
Supervisor?
that. I hate that.
I fucking hate that
I kind
too.
of like it because it's at the same time they're like, "Caleb, how should we do this?" Like, do that way.
They could respect your
It
opinion.
makes you feel like you're not disposable.
I'm, like-
but at the end of the day,
They don't give a
there's
shit.
no such
Right.
thing as job
I'm
security.
one of the
Number.
lowest men on the totem pole. Like
Yeah.
besides normal employee, I'm the lowest man. But with because I can do everything that is to need to be done in what I do. Like everything, computer wise, picking, loading, whatever it is, I can do it all. And it's like my supervisor's like, "So how are we supposed to do this?" And I'll immediately tell her, and she's like, "Huh, okay." Even my leads that are supposed to know more than I do, know less than what I do.
But where's your promotion?
Exactly.
yeah, like we're
So they don't give a shit.
Skipped
No.
right over him for that.
Yeah. But for me, like when I do my stuff, at least I can give the knowledge to the people that need it and be like, this is what you're supposed to do, so you don't have to come back later and ask.
Every time they ask you that question, I would ask for a raise.
You don't know how many times I've asked. You don't know.
Ask harder.
Raises are unheard
Asks
of.
questions quicker.
Yeah.
I got hit in the head and denied a raise.
to go back to the Worth It or Junket, Mario's topic, gatekeeping, mechanic knowledge, I vote Junket.
Junket, absolutely.
Junket. If somebody can bring you a new technique and it works, don't shit on them for doing
gatekeeping
it.
any form of knowledge.
I think
is just
gatekeeping any form of
stupid,
knowledge is
you know?
like
because you're perpetuating a
dependent.
dumb society.
Like,
no, not
I don't-
dependent.
I don't
but
know.
It's depending on what it is. If it's something like knowledge, like pertains to you personally, gatekeep that shit all you want. That's your.
No, that's different. I'm talking
That's
about
your-
like progression, like mechanical knowledge,
Yeah,
or like
like,
repair
or
knowledge.
just
Shit
knowledge,
that's like gonna
like-
help people learn
Yeah.
like how to better like fend for themselves. Like,
It's general
just-
knowledge.
right.
Yeah, that should
How
be.
to, I think any kind of how to be a better person, how to do your job better, how to live a better life.
The world is the way it is today because of communication and people sharing ideas. And if you're going to stop that for your pride, then you're just slowing us down.
Yeah, it just hurts and it sucks to see that there's still a lot of it. And right now I think it's more the old guys. A lot of the younger, and that's the damn shame of it, man. A lot of the young mechanics, we wonder where are the mechanics, where are the plumbers, where are the
Such a
repair?
shortage.
Because they fucking, you know why they quit? Because of assholes like you. They are asking, "Oh, my fucking back hurts," and then you're fucking yelling at this kid. Give him a fucking chance. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face because it has come toe to toe with guys, and we quickly realize where we are in this fear of like I will walk my walk kind of shit because I love what I do and I will plan on doing it good and I want to bring people along and teach them all the skills. All the other stuff, man, chunk it. It's just
Junk it, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
junk that shit.
Caleb, do you have a Worth It or
I do,
Junket?
actually. And this one is just kind of like personal preference. So in a lot of the newer cars, I'd say 18s plus, I think. 2020s plus.
my truck's a 16 and it has my Ford
Well, it
has a
could've-
16 and it already has the
So large entertainment systems, so AE, radio, even some in like Teslas.
just iPad cars.
Like a 17 to 20 some inch tablet in your car for what reason? Like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm old school. Where like my truck has buttons and knobs and like it has a disc player that's dead, but it has one, and I like that.
Like
Like
Crown Vic has buttons and knobs.
because
it's such bring me back.
dude,
right.
I like that.
I can't
like
believe-
I like the old. I don't like the old like '90s like ka-chunk where you have to push the button.
kinda
in.
like that too.
I kinda like that.
I think it's dead though, but
like take a tape or 8-track
I don't.
out.
I don't like the fact that like if one LCD light in my 17-inch tablet goes out, my whole radio's ruined.
Yeah.
Where the backlight in my radio might go out, I could still change the channel.
I've just seen fucking sippy cups be thrown at a fucking one. Your sippy cup gets chucked from the back seat.
And just ruined.
It's like
You're like, now you have to deal with 80-degree heat for the rest of your days in this car.
that's the biggest pet peeve I've had with them is like your AC, your HVAC controls are on. They're digital. If that screen goes out, congratulations, you've got nothing.
I think that's manufacturer though, because I've seen that some that have the big infotainment systems,
And then, like,
they
the
have
button.
the temp control underneath
It
it.
But,
definitely is, but I feel like they are switching.
It's all digital.
Well,
like
that-
all Teslas are now like that.
Not to digress and like move backwards to a different topic, but like that and like the knob shifters are fucked.
park for
Hell, some new cars you don't even get an actual gear. Like it's not the knob even now. It's on that tablet. You just drive.
Oh yeah, you gotta
that's
push
right.
it.
Dude.
That is so dangerous.
Wanted to turn on my Motley Crue and went into reverse. Boom! This bitch
Kickstarted my heart and my asshole.
yeah, dude.
I think that's dangerous.
Shit.
and now
think
I need
that-
a differential.
I think that's extremely dangerous in certain parts because what if your kid like jumps in your car? Because as a kid, I jumped in my parents' car. My grandparents' car was messing with shit. Turned the key on. Never turned the car. Like I would every once in a while.
Yeah.
But they turned the key on, and hell, you don't even need the key on for most of it. It's
There
just
is a
in
lot
there.
of safeties. They are pretty redundant.
But they just touch a whole bunch of shit and just screw something all the way up that now you got to take it in and have it fixed.
Now it's in Spanish.
Yeah, right.
Or Chinese.
And now that's the whole car. The whole car is that way because of that one gigantic. I don't think it should have that.
Where the fuck is
maybe
the
on
air conditioner?
like some high model end car, maybe okay, you're paying for that. But my basic ass truck, I don't want a huge tablet that if maybe my drink
I think
spills,
it's distracting.
ruined.
It's
Yes,
so
absolutely.
distracting.
Distracting.
It takes forever to get to the menu because it's got a fucking CPU from the 90s
You
era.
have to go
like-
through so many windows to get where you want
Yeah.
while you're fucking driving.
While you're-
and it's got this big alert that pops up. Don't do this while driving.
Don't drive distracted.
I've seen
Why are you distracting me?
I've seen vehicles pop up with that, and it's got a button like okay, like I won't do it right now, or I'm a passenger.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna hit the I'm a passenger button. Like yeah, there's definitely somebody there. You expect me to be honest with something I paid for?
Your seatbelt sensor
Now,
isn't on. Your
I could see like the plus side of it being maybe you have on this new thing. I know your grandma's car has it, where it's got the omnidirectional cameras and backup camera.
Yeah.
That I could see being a plus side, but
Yeah.
that's it. That would be the only thing I could
But
see.
it's still a big ass tablet.
So why do you have that?
Her screen's not that big. Her screen's only just it's
Like a
barely
6
bigger than
But
mine.
one of my
6
Focus is like this big. It's like a little 5-inch.
I could-
Because you got to focus on it.
I had the same radio in when I had my Jeep as you do in your truck. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
The little
Yeah. I remember that.
And that was fine. That was
It was
perfect.
like 4
okay,
inch.
I could live with that touch screen.
It gives you 6 buttons or 5 buttons at the bottom, but the volume and the HVAC and all the
all
other
that shit
stuff.
was separate. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. That's okay. But when I have like the stretching from the ceiling of my
Yeah.
car to the floor, and it's just, oh, what options do I want? No, get rid of it.
I think in my opinion on that would be, as long as you can keep the drivetrain and the climate control separate, I would keep it. But the way that everything's going, junk that shit.
Yeah,
The worst part about it is that like this bigger these screens are getting, I have seen multiple ads for these things you can plug into your cigarette lighter, and next thing you know, you can watch Netflix on this thing. Like you don't need to be
You
doing
don't.
it. And the thing is, they work even if you're driving.
Yeah,
What
right.
happens if you get into an accident and that thing fucking just severs your throat? You know,
The
like,
TV, a TV just comes out and cuts you in half.
While fucking Netflix is playing Jimmy
Yeah.
Carr in the background.
playing Death Proof.
It's like, so, just in things are destined to fail eventually. Like technology never is going to last forever. Maybe we'll eventually get to that point.
Unless it's in Milwaukee. I'm just kidding.
Different, but that's
like,
electronics
Not
will
sponsored.
eventually die. So, and if maybe there was a defect when it was made, or it's just something jiggled while you hit a bump. You're driving down the road, and for no reason, shunk, that's off.
yeah.
Guess what? Now I can't put my car into park. Now the heat's on at 95.
Yeah.
Volume is maxed out on your car, blowing your eardrums
That goes
out.
back to what Chewy was saying with the dependence on technology.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
people-
absolutely.
Like people aren't learning anymore, and you're basically, the more advanced technology gets, the less people learn or feel the need to learn because the computer does it for me.
Yeah.
And so
That's like, oh my God, backing on that. Did you ever see that video of that girl she was coming up to a stop sign in a normal car and she was like doing 60 to the stop sign and he's like, what are you doing? And he stops the car and she's like, my Tesla usually stops me when I get to the stop sign. She didn't know how to use her her brake.
that's what I'm saying.
That is wild.
Crazy.
And,
Oh no. Too much technology,
Dude,
Too much.
that
I don't
doesn't
know.
make
Maybe
sense.
it's not. Maybe keep everybody in a locked up cell.
Stay in school, kids.
I think you should have to take another driving test if you buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because I have seen so many people I drive a Tesla. I could go 130 in 3 seconds. I should drive like this on the interstate.
I think
you need to take another driving test.
I think if you want to drive, if you drive a Tesla, you should take your own
Have a
class.
spare license.
Yeah, and then if you want to drive other stuff, you need another license.
You got to get one for a motorcycle. Why not a Tesla?
I don't know. That's so crazy. I don't like any of that. Yeah,
Right.
junk the whole big infotainment, too much technology in cars.
So
Give me
we-
back some buttons.
Are we agree then? Junk that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
In certain instances, I would keep it, but for the most, 90% of it, junk it. I would.
I don't need a drive-in movie in the car.
Yeah, while I'm driving.
Yeah.
We're already drive like shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm paying the price for a Silverado. I don't need the umbrella holder in the door like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Give me a radio that does like music. That's
And
it.
that's all I
Bluetooth,
need.
great.
Yeah.
That's it.
This does sound.
There's so many buttons. Even on the like basic touchscreen I got, like there's so many buttons I don't use. Like that's not needed. I don't need any of that shit. It hooks to my phone automatically.
See, that's what that's telling me. Like, it gets to the point, like, you know how yours has OnStar and ours has Uconnect or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like OnStar's gonna get called when you get into a car crash, and it's gonna be a FaceTime, and they're just gonna see a decapitated person just sitting there. Just how can I? Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Like I don't need to make a FaceTime in my car. Like, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But like now I can see everything you're doing in the background because I have a whole TV. Like, no, get rid of it. It's just too much distraction.
Like, who's in the car that much to enjoy it? Like Tesla with their, like, you can draw pictures on a Tesla and submit them to Tesla. Like, who's sitting in a car?
Who's
that
sitting
long?
in a car just?
Like, just fucking
people
go
just-
inside.
I just can't believe.
Go
Yeah, like
inside and stare at that big screen.
the Cybertruck breaks if you don't put it in car wash mode. Like, and it bricks. You know, like you can't even. It shuts down like the car wash. Like, too much technology, too much crazy. I don't know, want to be sci-fi stuff too early, like, and let people. You know what? Maybe you do focus and drive a little better if you have a third pedal. You're a little more attentive,
absolutely.
like when you're on
for
two
sure.
wheels.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
fuck people. We are letting people drive 18-wheelers on automatic mode and all the auto stop with.
Don't worry, I put it on autopilot.
Oh my gosh,
I
dude.
mean, to be fair, like, the auto stop in semis sucks. Like, you
I-
get a car
yeah.
next to you, and that thing just lays on the brakes.
Yeah, it's-
you get thrown through the windshield. You shut that shit off real quick.
It's a goofy world with the stereos and stuff, man, and any infotainment.
People need
stuff.
a little more struggle when it comes to something like that. Like, it's becoming too convenient.
We have been spoiled.
We need to
man.
start crank starting cars again.
Breaking our arm
Breaking
because it
our arm,
backfired.
No. They fixed that. They made it
a
it'll
wind
release.
clock, a wind clock or whatever. But
With the little hammer.
right
It's
on.
a shotgun shell.
All right, yeah, worth it or junk it?
Junk
it. All right,
Worth it or junk it?
Worth it,
Worth it or
junk
junk
it. All right, guys. So
That's all we got for
this is
today.
pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we.
Yeah, this is it. Chewy, thank you for coming
Thanks, man.
on. Yeah, you're our first guest. So thank you all if you did tune in and listen to the end and hang out, say some comments, write some stories down if you're on the YouTubes or in the TikToks. We'll be making some shorts of this.
Give us some ideas for Worth It or Junk It.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you
please,
guys
yeah.
got some worth it or junk it, you guys want to junk some more stuff with us. Because we all know it's all shit, it's all junk, it's all breaks down anyways. So Chewy, you want anything else at the end? But pre-social, yeah, you want to just tell people anything or like, just like the world's a weird place. Any like last bit?
Everybody has to work to survive. Don't make their job harder.
Yeah, very good, man.
That's what I
Very
tell
nice.
everybody.
Very
good.
nice.
It's-
Yeah.
yeah.
I could definitely vouch for that. It's just be nice as people, everybody, and let's all just try to strive to be better people and help each other out and do the best we can. It's tough out there for everybody. So.
Oh yeah.
So thank you guys. We are gonna sign off. I will throw it to Caleb. Go ahead, man. You got your socials, throw them out, and then will be linked down below and stuff.
Throw these right at you again. I'm on Insta, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, anything you can really find. It's going to be Caleb _the_hunted_. Find me. I mean, I might have my own online like stream every once in a while.
Yeah, check out his stream,
So
just Twitch and stuff.
Come by, say hi.
Yeah.
Tell us where you're from. Be like, hey, I seen you on the Technically Broken podcast. Be like, sweet. You know how cool that'd be? Like, awesome.
That's a dream.
Yeah, right.
And Botar.
I'm Botar, and my socials are B0TAR on Instagram, and that's everything else. And Botar Designs is my side gig. If you do graphic design, hit me up.
Yeah. Chewy, thank you. Do you have any socials you want out there? If not, it's whatever.
Only social I really use is Snapchat, and that's John Deere 1500. Facebook. I have Facebook and Instagram. I don't ever use them. I don't ever look at them. But yeah, no. I mean, sometimes I game with Caleb and while he's streaming and stuff. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't. Just Snapchat.
Right on. Cool. If we have any other links, they'll be down there. And everybody, I am Mario, or Whole Baked Cookie. I want to thank you all again for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode. It will probably be just the boys again. Thank you, Chewy, for coming on and being our first guest. It was super fun, super cool. Thank you, Botar, Caleb. This was awesome. We're still getting this rolling, and
Thanks for having me.
yeah, dude.
Guys, just look out for the next one. We might have a little bit of a upgraded podcast. We're going to try and shoot for a little bit better quality stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Botar,
Bye.
any last words? All right, he's just out of here.
That's just last words. Bye. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
I got
All right,
shit.
guys. You got a chance.
Sweet.